Get ready, because what's happening between May 24th and 25th isn't just a fleeting moment or another set of numbers on your calendar. It's a portal, a threshold, a sacred invitation from the universe. On the surface, it might feel like any other day, full of tasks, routines, or even emotional static. But beneath that surface, something much more profound is stirring. It's already begun, and whether or not you can name it, you can feel it. It's like catching a familiar scent you can't quite place, or hearing a melody that echoes in your heart before your ears can catch up. This isn't the beginning of a change. It's the middle of it. You're already in the current. You've already crossed the threshold. For the first time in nearly 3 decades, 29 long years, Saturn, the planet of time, structure, and soul-deep transformation, has returned to Aries. This shift is more than just astrological mechanics. It's a vibration, a cosmic frequency tuning you to a higher octave of your own consciousness. Until September 1st, 2025, this influence will ripple through every layer of your being, but the most intense ignition is happening now, right here, right in the quiet spaces between your thoughts. And what's happening now? It's not a warm-up, it's not a prelude. Your preparation phase has ended. The energy isn't waiting for you. It's already active, already integrating into your energy field. Your 5D self, your higher multidimensional awareness, is being activated, downloaded, and lit up like a constellation within your soul. You are no longer standing on the edge of becoming. You are becoming. Have you found yourself drifting into thought lately, without knowing why? Moments where your emotions seem to move in waves. Lightness one moment, melancholy the next. Perhaps you've been more sensitive than usual, more open, even more unsettled. Maybe your dreams have felt more vivid, more symbolic. Or maybe you felt strangely nostalgic, as if parts of your past are rising to be acknowledged, forgiven, or finally released. If any of this resonates with you, know this: it is not random. None of it is a coincidence. Your soul is picking up on the signal. You're feeling the truth of the shift that's unfolding not around you, but within you. This isn't just a shift in mood or energy. It's a deep, spiritual realignment. What was once dormant is now awakening. The inner codes of your being, your soul's original instructions, are being remembered and reactivated. That's why things that used to make sense no longer do. That's why you're being pulled away from surface-level distractions. That's why you're being called to pause, to feel, to remember. Saturn's arrival into Aries is the universe's way of saying, it's time. Time to come back to your truth. Time to drop the masks. Time to look at yourself not through the eyes of expectation or fear, but through the lens of divine honesty. Saturn doesn't sugarcoat. It doesn't make things easy, but it always makes things real. When Saturn meets Aries, the initiator, the spark of cosmic fire, it's like a match being lit inside your soul. It burns away the illusions and leaves behind something raw, something honest, something powerful. You may find yourself questioning everything, your identity, your choices, your direction. That's not a crisis. It's an awakening. You are being pushed to strip away what no longer serves your essence. Old patterns, outdated beliefs, inherited limitations, they're not meant to come with you into this new chapter. And because of that, they may rise to the surface now, demanding your attention not to punish you, but to free you. This is sacred work. This is soul work. Aries is the sign of new beginnings, of fearless action, of forging ahead even when the path is unclear. And Saturn, with all its wisdom and weight, is asking you to make these next steps intentional. No more rushing through life on autopilot. No more saying yes when your soul screams no. No more silencing your inner truth to keep others comfortable. This is your moment to break free. Not wildly, not chaotically, but consciously. This isn't about chasing a new identity. It's about returning to the truth of who you've always been beneath the layers you've worn for survival. This is about coming home to yourself. So if you've been searching for answers in the external world, pause for a moment. Breathe. Because this time, the answers won't come from outside. They are emerging from within. That deep knowing, that quiet wisdom, that sacred inner voice, it's rising, and it's asking you to listen, to trust it, to follow it. This is not a phase that will pass you by. This is a cornerstone of your evolution, a crossroads moment. You're not meant to go back to who you were before this. You're meant to become someone entirely new, not because you weren't enough before, but because now you're ready to embody more of who you truly are. And it may feel scary. It may feel uncertain. That's natural. Evolution always comes with a stretch. But if you surrender to it, if you lean in instead of resisting, you will find something waiting for you on the other side of that fear. You will find clarity, freedom, peace. You will discover a version of yourself that feels more whole, more radiant, more grounded than you've ever known. Saturn is speaking to you now, not through thunder or chaos, but through subtle truths, through the quiet nudges, through the discomfort that asks you to shift, through the clarity that comes in silence. It's asking you, who are you becoming? Not who should you be, not who have you been told to be, but who do you, at your core, feel ready to step into? And this time, the answer isn't something you say. It's something you live. It's expressed through your choices, your habits, your presence, your energy. Every step you take from this point on is either a step toward alignment or a step away from it. Choose with care. Choose with love. Choose with courage. These next 2 days are not random. They are spiritually charged. They are anchoring this frequency into your body, into your cells, into your soul. May is coming to a close, and with it, a major cycle is ending within you. What once felt scattered may begin to come into focus. Parts of yourself that were hidden may now rise to be seen. This is not just change, it is completion. A soul-deep integration of all the fragments you've been carrying. So before we go deeper, I ask that you make a conscious choice to support your own awakening. Anchor this energy. Speak your intention aloud. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you feel aligned, leave the number 777 in the comments below. That number holds the vibration of divine guidance, spiritual alignment, and inner mastery. It is a way to declare, not just to me, but to the universe, that you are awake, aware, and ready. You can also share this message with someone you love, someone who's on this journey too, because we're not meant to walk this path alone. We are here to rise together, to hold space for each other, to remind one another of the truth we sometimes forget. Now let's continue deeper. Remember, no celestial event touches your life by accident. Saturn's return to Aries is encoded in your soul's blueprint. You chose to be here now for this very reason. This moment is not a detour. It is the destination. And it's only the beginning of what's to come. This alignment is calling you to ignite your courage, to take bold yet intentional steps forward, not from a place of impulse, but from a deep inner knowing. Saturn brings structure to Aries fire. It says, yes, blaze forward, but build something real. This is about creating foundations, not just chasing inspiration. This is about becoming a living embodiment of your higher self. This time, Saturn is doing his work in the domain of Aries, the space of individual will, self-identity, and inner fire. When Saturn touches something, he brings maturity, but not without effort. If you've been holding on to fear, Saturn is here to confront you with it. If you've been resisting change, he's going to push you, not out of cruelty, but because your soul is ready to rise. His purpose is to help you strip away the noise and come home to your authentic self, to bring you closer to the truth of who you really are. You've probably already started feeling it. The tears that come out of nowhere, the moments of deep reflection, the emotions that bubble up unexpectedly. This isn't just moodiness. This is your inner being reacting to the energetic shift. Your spirit is sensing the fire of Aries awakening within you. Saturn is pressing pause on the distractions and asking you to slow down and listen. Together, their energies are reshaping you from the inside out. During this time, you may find yourself feeling restless, easily irritated, craving solitude, or even feeling like everything suddenly lacks meaning. You might experience waves of indecision or a strange emptiness that you can't quite explain. These sensations are not to be feared. They're signs of your soul's ascension beginning to unfold. Don't ignore or suppress them. Feel them. Witness them. Let them guide you back to yourself. Right now, Saturn is calling you inward. This is a time to strip away the layers of expectation and performance. It's not about who you've been told to be. It's about discovering who you truly are. Saturn in Aries asks for radical honesty, and that honesty starts with you. No more waiting for others to tell you what's right. No more chasing validation from outside sources. You're being guided to discover your own inner compass. Your motivations are shifting. The old rewards don't fulfill you anymore, and they're not supposed to. This isn't optional. This is a soul-level assignment. You're being asked to evolve, not just emotionally or mentally, but spiritually and energetically. To rise above outdated identities. To rise above outdated identities. To clear away the dust of who you thought you had to be. This is your moment to remember the truth that's always been within you. That you are powerful, that you are awakening, and that you are ready. So if everything feels unfamiliar right now, if you feel like you're in between two worlds, know that you're not alone. You are being guided through a sacred transition, and on the other side of it is a more whole, more awakened version of you. Trust the process. Surrender to the transformation. Let yourself be changed, because what's coming is not just a new chapter, it's a whole new book, written from the truth of your soul. This moment in time isn't just another cosmic shift, it's a spiritual calling. The energy of this transit is awakening something deep within you, something that's been waiting patiently in the shadows. The most powerful change you're about to experience is the rise of your own inner leadership. But this leadership isn't about taking control of others. It's about guiding yourself, especially the parts of you that have long been hidden or ignored. Your shadows, your fears, your unresolved emotions, all of it is coming into focus now, and it's up to you to meet them with courage and grace. During this time, every challenge and every emotional confrontation will be an invitation to become stronger. But this strength won't be handed to you by the outside world. It will emerge from your inner depths, rising quietly and powerfully. Time itself may begin to feel different. Some days will rush by like a fast-moving river, while others may feel stretched and surreal. That's because you're no longer skating on the surface of life. You're being pulled deeper, and in that depth, you'll begin to see everything more clearly. Within that clarity lies transformation. And once this transformation begins, there's no going back. The way you see yourself, your life, your purpose, it will all begin to shift. Saturn, the great teacher and keeper of time, is behind this shift, and Saturn doesn't operate on short timelines. The effects of this transit are setting the stage for your future. The decisions you make now, the patterns you release, and the intentions you set are not just for today. They're laying down the blueprint for the years ahead. But as you might already be feeling, this is not a light and breezy journey. Saturn doesn't give without first asking for your commitment. First, it narrows your path. Then, it expands it. First, it silences you. Then, when you're ready, it hands you your voice. That's why this moment might feel weighty, like something is pressing down on your chest. But it's not meant to crush you. It's meant to shift you into a new frequency, one that aligns with the truth of who you are becoming. If you meet this energy with awareness, you'll start to notice everything around you transforming. Your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, even your sense of time and reality. But if you try to cling to old ways of thinking, old patterns, or outdated identities, life may feel increasingly difficult. That's because you're not meant to stay where you've been. You're being called upward now. A higher version of you is ready to come forward. This isn't just an energetic upgrade, it's a return to your truth. And this is only the beginning. Your inner system is being rebuilt, piece by piece. Saturn in Aries is sculpting a new version of you, one that is fully aligned with your soul, your authenticity, your real power. This process has already started. The energy is here. The path has been opened. The only question now is, what will you choose to do with it? Have you noticed how intense your emotions have felt lately? Have you sat in that strange silence that rises just before you make a big decision? Have you caught yourself in a moment where time bends and everything feels oddly familiar? Like you've been here before, even though you haven't? That's because part of you remembers. Even if your mind doesn't quite catch it yet, your soul knows what's happening. Saturn is slowly unraveling your old identity. It's turning you inside out, revealing what's real and what's no longer needed. And during this transformation, don't be surprised if people drift away without warning, if plans fall apart without explanation, or if old paths lose their appeal. This isn't a punishment, it's a redirection. In this energy, release is powerful. Letting go is the way forward. Holding on only delays your evolution. Every time you release something that no longer fits, you make space for something more true, more aligned, more deeply you. Saturn wants you to return to your purest essence, to stop living according to someone else's rules, and instead, start walking your own destined path. But this journey isn't something that can be completed by checking boxes or chasing goals. Saturn isn't interested in external success. What it wants for you is something much more meaningful: inner wholeness. That's why you might be feeling uncertain or emotionally heavy right now. The confusion, the stillness, the moments of emptiness, these aren't signs that you're lost. They're the very beginning of your rebirth. You're not collapsing, you're rising. And just like a seed must break before it sprouts, you too are breaking through into something new. Even though Saturn in Aries pushes you to move, that movement isn't always about doing more. Often it's about going inward. It's about asking yourself the deeper questions. Why am I really doing this? Who am I trying to prove something to? Is this even what I truly want? Or is it what others expect of me? These questions are knocking at the door of your soul, waiting for you to let them in. And during this time, you may notice your dreams become more vivid, your sleep more restless. One moment, you might feel like doing absolutely nothing. The next, you're overwhelmed with inspiration and urgency. That's because your inner system is being rewired. Something essential is being reorganized at your core, and none of this is random. It's all part of a higher, sacred process, what could be called spiritual engineering. Before anything can be rebuilt, it must first dissolve. Chaos is not the opposite of order. It's the pathway to it. So listen closely. Saturn is not just bringing you responsibilities. It's offering you wisdom, true wisdom. Not something you'll find in a book or a course, but something that will rise from your own depths. This knowledge will reveal itself quietly, like a whisper in a still moment, a flash of insight in solitude, a look that says more than words ever could. It won't come from the outside. It will awaken from within you. This energy isn't here to teach you something new. It's here to remind you of what you've always known, what your soul has carried through lifetimes. This is your truth, and it's time to come home to it. Time is moving quickly, but there's no need to be afraid of that. This acceleration isn't meant to overwhelm you. It's actually here to bring you closer to your true self and to help you align with your essence more swiftly. That's why lately, your heart's voice has been growing louder. It's becoming harder to ignore because when the constant chatter of your mind quiets down, your soul finally has the space to speak clearly. There's no need to keep searching for answers outside of yourself, because the truth is, the answers have always lived within you. You just need the stillness to be able to hear them. With Saturn's current influence, there's a deep calling to step into inner leadership. But this isn't leadership that stems from pride or ego. It's born from a place of awareness and consciousness. The very definition of power is shifting. It's no longer about how forcefully you can stand your ground, but how open and soft you can remain while staying grounded in your truth. It's your inner clarity now that will offer the most protection, not your mental walls, not the defenses you've carefully built. As Saturn makes its transit, it's natural that old emotions might resurface. Pieces of the past you thought were long forgotten may reappear. You might find yourself revisiting unresolved feelings or unfinished conversations. But these encounters aren't really about who was right or wrong. They're about releasing the weight you no longer want to carry forward. Saturn is helping you clear out the old to make space for the new because you are entering a new energetic field. And this new field demands lightness. It's true that this kind of transformation can feel isolating at times. Not everyone around you will be able to meet you where you are. Some might not understand the changes you're going through, and that's okay. Don't let that hold you back. This is a deeply personal transformation, and sometimes you'll have to walk through parts of it on your own. But remember, loneliness is only temporary. The transformation you're moving through is lasting. There's something else important to understand right now. Every intention you set during this period carries great power. The energy field Saturn is creating is highly synchronized with time itself, so whatever you pour your focus into will begin to grow more quickly. That's why it's so essential to stay aligned with your true desires and beliefs. Every choice you make, every seed you plant during this phase, will begin to take root and blossom over the next few years. Don't dismiss your inner voice. Don't push aside the emotions that are moving through you. They're not happening without a reason. Your awareness is expanding. Your intuition is becoming stronger and more refined. More and more, you're going to find yourself guided by a quiet voice from within that defies logic. That voice is your new compass. Saturn in Aries is not only changing the direction of your inner path, but also reshaping the very magnetic pull of your inner guidance system. Things in your life may appear to be unraveling, but that's only because they are being rearranged at a deeper level. You just can't see the full picture yet, and that's completely okay. This is a process of reconstruction, and as with any building process, patience is essential. But let's be clear, this patience isn't about passively waiting for things to happen. It's about staying awake, staying present, and staying conscious through it all. The path you're meant to walk has already opened up before you. The momentum has begun. There's no going back now. From here on, every step matters. Every decision shapes the energy of what comes next. You're no longer moving through life randomly. Everything is guiding you toward awakening, toward the most authentic and pure version of your soul. That version of you carries incredible potential. Every difficult moment you face right now isn't a sign that things are falling apart. It's a reminder. These moments are here to help you remember who you truly are. What you're feeling now, what's rising to the surface, has been waiting within you for a long time. And like anything that's been hidden or suppressed for years, eventually, it reaches a breaking point. It rises up to be seen, felt, and finally released. That's what's happening now. It's not chaos for the sake of pain. It's Saturn shaking you from your foundation, not to destroy you, but to wake you up. Sometimes that wake-up call shows up as the end of a relationship. Sometimes it looks like losing a job or questioning your entire identity. But the outcome is always the same. You are being pulled away from an outdated version of yourself. You're now standing at the edge, one foot in your old life, the other stepping into a new reality. And it's time to choose. This isn't just a practical decision anymore. It's a spiritual one. Because now every thought, every choice, every action you take carries energetic weight. You are no longer just navigating your own path. You're part of something larger. This transition isn't just about your personal growth. It's a spark that also ignites growth in the collective around you. Your healing, your clarity, your evolution, they're part of a much bigger wave of change. The people closest to you, and even those at the edges of your life, will be touched by the shifts you make within yourself. So how do you walk through this time? How do you stay centered when everything is changing? The answer is simple, even if it's not always easy. Stay true to who you are. Let your own truth guide you. That's your anchor in the storm. The clarity within you is the key. You don't need to search for validation outside yourself anymore. You don't need to chase answers or try to fit into places you've outgrown. Instead, trust the frequency that's rising from within. That's the voice that will carry you forward now. That's the strength that will hold you steady as everything around you shifts. This moment is sacred. And though it may feel intense, even overwhelming at times, it's leading you to something far more expansive. A lighter, freer, more aligned version of life is waiting for you. You're not just changing, you're remembering who you really are. And in that remembrance, you're returning home to yourself. Your ego will be tested in this process because the shadow of Aries is selfishness, anger, and impatience. Saturn will test you in these areas because if you don't recognize your shadow first, you won't find your light. If you are still blaming the outside, if you are still leaving your fate in the hands of others, Saturn will tell you to stop because there is no room for victim consciousness in this new energy field. Now you need to move to the center of your own power. This power is not a noisy power. It is a quiet but shaking power. This power is the power to say no. This power is the courage to walk for yourself now. This power is the power to break the chains of the past and become free because Aries is a new beginning. But Saturn makes this beginning permanent. Now I will tell you a secret. Everything that happens to you in this process has already been planned before. But it's not enough to know this. You need to remember it, because remembering makes you feel safe. Everything makes more sense when you realize that even though the system looks like chaos, it is actually moving in a perfect order that carries you to your highest potential. During this period, your energy may suddenly drop and you may feel empty. This is because the old you is dissolving and the new self is not yet fully built. This is a corridor of transition. There is no clarity here, but there is feeling. There is no direction, but there is a call, and this call is not coming from outside, but from within. If you can surrender to this process, you will experience your greatest transformation, because this energy will not only change, you will align you with yourself, and this alignment will put you in flow. You will stop fighting with your life, because in the end, you will see that everything is for you. First of all, thank you to those who have watched this far. The Sacred Promises family is growing every day. The presence of each and every one of you on this journey is very valuable to us. This is not just a narrative, but the vibration of a collective awakening. It is no coincidence that we are gathered here. The spiritual frequency of each of you has heard this call. And now I am going to share with you 3 very special, very ancient golden knowledges that are not our invention. These are true astrological secrets from beyond time, from ancient sources with deep meanings. Each of them, when applied, has the power to change not only your spiritual, but also your physical reality. Listen now, because these 3 golden insights are at the heart of the transformation you're experiencing right now. These are no ordinary pieces of advice. They are the essence of knowledge passed down over thousands of years only to initiates. Golden Knowledge 1. Aries is the first spark of fire, and it is written in ancient texts. Fire exists not only to burn, but to transform. When Saturn passes through this sign, he not only tests you, but also purifies you. In ancient teachings that use the element of fire ritually, it is recommended to work directly with a naked flame, candle, incense, or fire circle on certain days of the week to confront one's inner shadows. This practice not only clears the energy field, but also begins to dissolve the fears stored in the subconscious mind. In ancient Tibet, it was possible to cleanse past life burdens with these rituals when the energy of Aries was active. This knowledge, forgotten in the modern world, is now being remembered again because Saturn uses fire not only to punish, but to purify you. The second golden knowledge, the moment of spiritual decision and the law of 7 days. According to ancient astrology, Saturn in Aries is the position where an intention resonates the fastest vibrationally. Especially the decisions you make during this period give their first signals in the physical reality within 7 days. This information is mentioned in ancient Mesopotamian tablets as the echo of the decision in the sky becomes flesh on the 7th night. So when you set an intention, it becomes clear within the first 7 days whether you will be able to attract it into the physical world or not. When you choose to stand firmly behind your decisions in this moment, You begin to align more deeply with the energies of the sky. Right now, the universe is watching the purity of your intentions with great care. Over the next 7 days, that sincerity will be tested. Every flicker of doubt, every moment of hesitation, gently lowers your frequency. That's why this is a time when your rituals must be rooted in unwavering determination. One cannot exist without the other. What you're working with here goes far beyond the basic mechanics of astrology. This isn't just about planets in orbit or abstract cosmic cycles. What you're touching is the sacred, living science of energetic time, a dimension that pulses with consciousness, rhythm, and divine order. This type of time isn't just marked by clocks or calendars. It flows through you. It breathes with you. And when you learn to approach time with presence and reverence, it becomes something astonishing, a sacred ally on your path of evolution. But when you move through time without awareness, rushing, resisting, or trying to force outcomes, you start to feel its weight. That's when time begins to feel like a burden, like a force working against you instead of for you. You feel pressure, impatience, or even despair when things don't unfold as quickly or as easily as you hoped. But the moment you bring conscious awareness into your relationship with time, everything changes. You begin to recognize delays as divine orchestration, pauses as sacred space, and detours as purposeful guidance. You realize that time, in its truest form, isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. It's a wise, loving force that's always inviting you to align, refine, and expand. This becomes especially powerful when you understand the deeper wisdom encoded within Saturn's energy. In many mainstream interpretations of astrology, Saturn is often labeled the taskmaster, the planet of restriction, limitation, and tough lessons. But that's only the surface layer. There is a much deeper, more ancient understanding of Saturn that has been carefully guarded and quietly passed down through the esoteric traditions and mystery schools. In Hermetic philosophy, Saturn is not just another celestial body moving through the sky. It is a great initiator, a cosmic gatekeeper. Its iconic rings are not just physical phenomena, they are symbolic. They represent boundaries. They guard the threshold to a higher realm of consciousness. That gateway is not open to all, not because it's exclusive or elitist, but because it requires a certain level of inner evolution to access. It opens only when the soul is truly ready to step into the next octave of spiritual responsibility. Saturn is here to ensure that your growth unfolds in integrity, that your spiritual expansion isn't just quick and flashy, but deep, real, and rooted. When Saturn slows things down in your life, it's not a punishment. It's a form of divine protection. It sees your potential, but it also sees your current readiness. If you were to receive what you desire before you had the strength, clarity, or wisdom to hold it, that very blessing could become a burden. So the delays you feel, the places in your life where you're waiting, longing, or questioning, they aren't signs of failure. They are signs of loving orchestration. Saturn isn't telling you no. More often it's whispering, "Not yet, beloved. Let's strengthen you first. Let's deepen your foundation. Let's prepare you to carry this gift with grace." And when that gate finally opens, when the energy you've been waiting for finally flows in, it's not because Saturn has changed its mind. It's because you have changed. You've aligned. You've matured. You've proven to yourself, energetically and spiritually, that you're ready for the next chapter. Every delay is sacred preparation. Every pause is rich with unseen transformation. Every test of your patience is polishing the inner diamond of your soul. This is the deep work of Saturn, It doesn't hand you what you want when you want it. It waits for the moment when what you want is aligned with what you are. That's when manifestation becomes true creation, not from ego, but from essence. And this wisdom doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's intricately connected to other sacred truths, like the purifying nature of fire, the rhythm of the 7-day cycle, and the multi-layered power of divine timing. These aren't just poetic metaphors or spiritual concepts. They are living keys. They are energetic codes meant to be integrated into how you move, how you choose, how you think, and how you feel. But knowledge in itself is not enough. You can memorize every astrological transit, read every sacred text, and still feel stuck. Why? Because transformation doesn't come from knowing. It comes from living, from embodying what you know, from becoming the truth instead of just thinking about it. You're not here to collect information. You're here to embody wisdom. That's the path of the awakened. It's not always easy, but it's always real. And if you're reading these words now, know this: you are not alone. You are walking this path with others who are awakening alongside you. Your cosmic soul family, seen and unseen, is walking with you. You are held in more love than you know. There's also a beautiful truth that often gets overlooked. The sky does not dictate your destiny. It reflects your inner world. It's not here to impose. It's here to mirror. Whatever you carry within, the cosmos amplifies. Whatever intentions you plant, it nurtures. That means every energetic shift, every cosmic event, every planetary alignment is an invitation, a mirror showing you where your energy is and where it wants to go. And that brings us to the present moment. This night, this particular moment in time, is not ordinary. It's not just another tick on the clock. It's a portal, a quiet invitation from the universe to prepare yourself for something extraordinary. The activation of your higher dimensional consciousness. Some call it your 5D energy. But labels aside, this is about returning to a frequency of wholeness, of inner knowing, of unity with all that is. If this message has found its way into your awareness, trust that it did so for a reason. Nothing is random. You are being called inward, not to push, not to strive, but to soften, to open, to remember who you truly are beneath all the noise and conditioning, to reconnect with the divine intelligence that's been whispering within you all along. So take a moment. Breathe deeply. Drop into your heart space. Let your mind quiet and your body relax. You don't have to do anything right now. This is about being. This is about allowing. Use the sacred tools available to you: meditation, intention, stillness, breath. Not to escape, but to arrive. To become present to your own frequency, your own truth, your own divine rhythm. You're not being asked to become someone else. You're being invited to remember who you've always been. You've never been separate from your wisdom, your power, your purpose. It's just that layers of fear, distraction, and old stories have covered it. But now, as this higher frequency flows through you, those layers are ready to fall away. Gently, lovingly, inevitably, and as they do, something beautiful begins to happen. You start to hear the quiet voice of your soul more clearly. You feel a sense of peace. Not because everything outside is perfect, but because something inside you is steady. Your inner wisdom becomes your compass. Your inner light becomes your guide. You stop chasing answers out there and begin listening to the knowing within. Tonight, even if just for a few minutes, create sacred space. Light a candle. Sit in silence. Let your breath become slow and intentional. This isn't about ritual for the sake of ritual. It's about anchoring your presence, returning to the truth of your being. You are not being asked to go somewhere far. You are being called home, to yourself. Your soul has been waiting for this moment, and though you may feel nervous or unsure, trust that you are ready. You wouldn't be here feeling this if you weren't. Let go of the heavy stories that no longer serve you. Release the past with love. Embrace the unknown with trust. Something new is being born within you, not a different version of who you are, but a more true one. And remember, the sky reflects your soul. The cosmos is not distant or disconnected. It's part of you, and it responds to the frequency you choose to hold. So hold it with care, with intention, with love. Thank you for showing up, for choosing this path, for walking it with such courage, even when it feels uncertain. If this message resonates with your heart, share it with someone you love. Let it ripple outward. Let the remembrance spread. And for now, just be gentle with yourself. Keep your heart open. Stay grounded in your truth. Trust the timing of your life. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and everything you need is already within you.